Well, welcome back. And our discussions with the pandemic effect on the tourism industry continues today, more specifically with the vacation ownership segment of tourism. RCI, better known as Resort Condominiums International, has been an industry since 1974 that has grown to as the largest, first and largest exchange company in the world for vacation ownership. We're joined today with the VP of Business Development, Mr. Todd Menendez. Todd, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
I heard a little rumor that you're getting close to a 20-year mark, I believe.
I think I'm a few days away from my 20th anniversary with RCI. That's right.
Fantastic. Listen, before we start, how's you and Stacy? I know you've got a couple of boys. How are you guys faring in Orlando right now?
We're doing pretty well, all things considered. We've adjusted to new life. Stacy works as well, and we coordinate our Zoom calls, and we found ourselves into a little bit of a rhythm and try to stay out of the boys' way as they beat us out of house and home.
Not too long ago, a few months ago, a lot of us were traveling on business like normal. I know I was in Las Vegas at the end of February. We were hearing a little rumor about a little virus that was kind of making its impact through the world. A couple of weeks later, the world stopped. How was the first reaction of RCI being so large and involved around the world, obviously? What was the first reaction amongst the group internally?
I tell you, it was amazing. Our call center out of Indianapolis was able in a week's time to go from an office of north of 1,000 people to having all those individuals working from home. And when you think about deploying technology and everything that comes with that in 7 days, it was remarkable. So we knew right from the beginning that we would put ourselves in the best position to service our members as well as service our affiliate partners.
Well, RCI certainly has been a good reputation for not only external relationship with its members, and its developers and resort developers, but also internally with all its staff and personnel, which a lot of them, like yourself, I called friends. You've got a really good company there, don't you?
Absolutely. It truly is a family atmosphere that started back from the founders, John and Crystal DeHaan, and a lot of those values that they started with the company are still visual and you can feel within the inside of the building today.
But the core of your business is still traveling, still involves traveling, people moving around, which has been basically put at a halt. We're starting to see reopening now, which is very encouraging, obviously, new procedures in place. But what are some of the initiatives you deal with, obviously, the members on one side and then the developer on the other side? So let's start with the members to start with. What are some of the initiatives you put in place to assist members that are probably in panic mode a lot of times?
Absolutely. This has been a fluid situation, and one of the things we've tried to really focus on is flexibility and providing our members with the ability to cancel their vacations and receive a credit back to exchange against later on once they feel more comfortable. Like I said, that's been a moving target and has continued to move out as we progressed in this pandemic, but it's something we've always focused on.
And on the other side, the resort side, I don't know how many thousands of affiliates you've got around the world, but they're obviously looking at your recommendations as far as opening and guidelines and whatnot. But to be able to feel that they're not alone in this industry, being as a strategic alliances that you have with them, what are some of the things you put in place to assist owners, developers, I mean?
Yeah, one of the things we've done is we meet individually with them and try to outline and roadmap a specific solution that best encompasses their owners and their desires. We have a product that we launched a few years ago that's called Livestream, which is a video sales platform that's much like the one we're on today, except that it has modules built into it that allows the developer to speak from a sales perspective to their owner. One of the things we've heard during this time is that many of our developer affiliates have been able to continue their in-house sales efforts via telesales. And that's a tool that we've been able to speak to many of our developers about.
Well, the world is certainly learning how to communicate differently. Zoom was not a word that was known to me some time back, obviously, and now a lot of the meetings and a lot of businesses done this way. You see a shift in the way business has been done traditionally in our industry It's been in person to person and face to face. You see a shift in the way our product is going to be sold?
That's an interesting question. I definitely think there will be things that come out of this that impact the way we do business in the future. There are some promising signs of the lights at the end of the tunnel. I was just speaking with a developer on Hilton Head Island earlier this week. They let me know that their occupancies are north of 90%. They are actually struggling to find salespeople and have had to slow down some of their tour flow because they just don't have the salespeople that they need to cover all the bases. So it's nice to see. Obviously, that's a drive-to destination, which we feel will come back first. And we hope to see that trend continue its way through the rest of our industry.
Well, you've touched on something with people being out of work and look for jobs. I mean, it's obviously affected many of our colleagues, and tourism is one of the first industry that's impacted when there's a crisis. But funny enough, it's one of the first one that rebounds, and especially the vacation ownership model seems to come back and play a lot faster even than your standard hotel rooms because of their space and the commitment that people have done to traveling on a world basis. Are people still confident that we are still the premier way to travel?
I absolutely think so. I think we're starting to see call volumes come back to the pre-COVID numbers. I think we're going to see people that have been in their homes and not getting outside very much. There's some pent-up demand to get out and vacation. Obviously, we've got to make sure we do that responsibly and we do it the right way. But I absolutely think we'll see the member base out traveling again and our affiliate partners out selling again.
So for all of those that are unemployed, you feel pretty confident that they will have a career back and their jobs will be back in shorter time sooner than later?
I sure hope so. I know, our organization, along with many of our affiliate partner organizations, had to make some very tough decisions over the last few months that have impacted, the lives, to your point, of many of our friends and cohorts. And so, yeah, I do think those opportunities will come back, and there may be some unique differences on how the product is sold 6 months from now than the way it was 6 months ago. But I actually absolutely see the demand for our product and the sale of our product continuing to be an opportunity for the travel and tourism industry.
Well, I was just talking to a member recently, and I thought in a very unselfish way, they said to me, says, you know what, Gaetan, he said, we've been members for 16 years. If the worst thing that happens this year is we lose one maintenance fee, we still get to keep our vacation the rest of our life. And they actually mentioned, but RCI actually is helping us out that we'll be able to travel in the future. And I thought, it's very unselfish of them, but at the same time, they showed the support they received from RCI.
Yeah, I mean, we're very excited about the opportunity. We've made some recent acquisitions that we think really complement our traditional exchange platform. And we think, there is a time in the near future where our members will be able to take advantage of all those travel platforms and really travel the way they want to travel in locations where they want to be.
The future obviously looks bright as far as most people are concerned. I think we'll rebound on this soon enough. Product will probably change somewhat, whatnot, but I think it's fair to say that our industry will bounce back fairly quickly.
I agree. I think, we've got some good history with the way we bounced back from the last recession in 08 and 09, the way this industry bounced back after 9/11. I think there are a lot of learnings from those two scenarios, and I think there will be some tweaks along the way, but I absolutely see this industry performing again.
Just as a last question, obviously your members depend a lot on you for guiding them, and you've got some phenomenal staff there as far as assisting them with recommendations and whatnot. Are you giving certain protocol, or I'm not sure exactly what the term would be, to tell resorts, you must have this in place before we send somebody out there as far as safety to be able to? Yeah.
So sorry. Yeah, we've really looked to ARDA as our organization to provide us with some guidelines around safety, and we've urged our affiliated partners to pledge to abide by those guidelines. And we're putting as much messaging as possible on our confirmations on our websites that will point them back to our affiliated partners. We have larger affiliates branded affiliates that are going above and beyond those ARTA guidelines. But I think it's very important that we do everything we can to let our members know the safety precautions that are being done at a resort by resort basis, and provide them the comfort they need to know that they can travel with some security and safety in mind.
Well, it's going to put a lot of people at ease, obviously, because RCI is still the big boy out there. So, Todd, I can't thank you enough for your time. I know you're very busy, and I wish you good luck. Stay safe, and we will see you hopefully sooner than later.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gaetan.
Well, that was Todd Menendez. Todd's been in the industry for, let's say, a little over 20 years at RCI. Seen a lot of changes, but probably nothing along those lines. But obviously feels very confident that through special safe distancing and new procedures and safety procedures at the resort, that our industry is going to come back to where it was and even grow from here. So I thank you again for your time. Please join us for our next interview. Have a good day. Thank you.